Hi artists. So today I wanted to talk about transferring our drawings onto the jelly plate and then doing monoprints in that process. A lot of my shorts have been really popular, the ones that I've been posting with that process. And what it is it's not regular pencil drawing. They're usually a charcoal drawing or a pastel drawing, a soft pastel drawing, not an oil pastel drawing, that we then transfer to the gel plate. And then we're using liquid acrylic paint or soft-bodied acrylic paint. And we're putting just a little bit on the gel plate, and the whole thing will transfer over and create a monoprint. So here are some examples. This is a charcoal drawing from my sketchbook. This is a little design. And these are all created with charcoal drawings. This one I've been experimenting a little bit with the soft pastel. So this is a soft pastel portrait that I created using, I think, 2 colors of soft pastel and 1 color of paint. And just transferred it right over using, I think it's yellow paint. Oh, it's 3 colors of soft pastel. Dark pink, light pink, and green, and then I transferred it right onto the paper. And then this is another charcoal drawing that transferred over, and this is just a light gray green color with the charcoal drawing transferred over. So this process, if you like to draw, is really fun because it really elevates your drawing now into like a painting or something that you could frame and enter into an art show or something, because it's a monoprint. It's not just a plain drawing anymore, and it's so much fun. They're really quick and easy to do. So I'm going to just demo how I do that. Sometimes we only get one shot with the drawing, and a lot of times I'll go back in and draw over a charcoal drawing, and I'll get 1 or 2 out of the same drawing. So you can play with that a little bit. And I'm going to show you how to do it with a charcoal drawing, and then I'll show you how I do it with the soft pastel. And as always, don't forget, if you like this video, please hit like and consider subscribing to my channel. It really helps my channel grow, and I appreciate it so much. Okay, stay tuned. Meet me back here, and I'm going to show you how I do it. Okay, so in an earlier video, I talked about zines and how I use them to generate ideas for paintings. So this is a zine that I created, and a zine is just a little art journal that you make out of one piece of paper. So I have several ideas in this zine that I want to explore further, and this painting, and this painting in the zine are ones I want to explore. So I'm going to just open it up so you can see what a zine is. And if you're interested, you could go find that video on my channel. So this is one that I'm going to do a bigger painting of, because I really kind of really like this kind of composition and stuff. I'll change it up a little bit. So I'm going to do a monoprint of this. So here in my little sketchbook, I've done a drawing of it. And I did one in charcoal, in gray, and I didn't really like the way it came out. I think the gray, you know, the gray charcoal with the gray paint. So now what I did was I came back, and here's a time where I'm still experimenting and playing. So what I did was I went over it with kind of this aqua color chalk pastel. And what I used this time was I have the Charvin soft chalk pastel. And I went over the whole thing, and I'm going to use that this time. And when we're doing the transfers, they come off onto the jelly plate so easily. Now, what I do is, if the picture is larger, I just, you know, pick out a composition that I like. It doesn't all have to go onto my gel plate. I'm not going to freak out. And then I just rub very briskly on here to transfer the image. Okay? If you have a either a brayer or a other tool, you can use your brayer, but you'll see it comes right off so easily. This is a Baron. You don't need a Baron. You can just use your hands, which I very often do. Okay, so my next step is that, and this is really important, you need to use liquid acrylic paint. Liquid acrylic paint is the only thing that's going to work. Soft body acrylic, like the Liquitex soft body acrylic, that'll work really great also. You need to use a very small amount. So this is a very small amount, and we're going to roll it out all over the entire thing. If you use too much paint, this process won't work. So this is a little getting used to. I put out the smallest amount. If it looks like I put too much out, I might wipe it back with a tissue or a piece of tissue paper or something to get some of it up. You want a very, very thin layer. Otherwise, it's not going to work. This is a scrap paper, like copy paper. Sometimes I save these. And now I'm going to grab my paper that I want to print on. I'm using a heavyweight paper to print on. 100-pound drawing paper is what I'm using. I'm not using regular printmaking paper, but this is a nice paper. Okay, so now I'm going to adhere it. It's not going to move once I stick it down. Now you can rub it completely with your hand, or you can use a Baron if you have one. I am using a Baron today because I'm not fooling around. If you have a Baron, it's nice. You don't have to use one. I like to flip it over and do it again. But that gel plate's going to really stick to the paper once it's stuck down. And then I'm just going to pull it off, and I should have a nice print. Okay. What I have found with the chalk pastel that's a little bit different than working with the charcoal is that you don't get as sharp a line. So sometimes I will go back in and put in some fine detail work if I want to sharpen things up a little bit. You know, you might want to go back into your drawing just a little bit. If you don't like that it's a little bit, you've lost some detail, or you want to accentuate some of your detail. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with the way these come out. So that's just one way of doing this. Like, I'm going to go back in and I'm going to touch this one up a little bit because I feel like it's not as sharp as I'd like it to be. Okay, so I did touch this up a little bit, and I just love, now that you could see them side by side. Now this is the drawing that I started out with. And you can see that unlike in other printmaking processes, this is not a reverse image of this. So if we were to do handwriting, for instance, like in most printmaking processes, you have to do all the writing or the script or the lettering backwards. But because we're transferring onto a gel plate, it comes on to here backwards. So this first print onto the gel plate is backwards, but then when we put it onto the paper, it's right side again. So now this and this are a matching image. So you don't get a reversal with this type of printmaking. So you can go ahead and write letters or write words. And if you are a type of artist who likes to put in, you know, a phrase or a word or a snippet of poetry, you can add that right in. I just really love the inconsistencies and the surprise elements that come up, and just the look of a hand-pulled print, and how much it changes a drawing. I also love that some of the charcoal from the previous print that I pulled on this particular plate came through. Now, I just want to share with you one thing that I do in between, because I don't want a lot of noise on my next print, which is just like leftover ink or paint from the prior print. So what I'm using here is just the standard, these are like really cheap baby wipes. So what I do is I clean everything with a baby wipe. Baby wipes take everything off. I use them in my studio for just about everything, to clean everything. I clean the Baron with them. I clean my brayer with them. I get everything off. All the acrylic, it takes all the acrylic paint off. It takes all the charcoal and pastel off. They're wonderful to keep on hand, and you won't have any issues at all if you use something like this. And they're really mild. They don't damage your gel plate. I have gel plates that are really old, and this just keeps everything really clean, and you're not going to have an issue. Most of my rollers are really old, so yep, that's just a little handy dandy trick for you. So next thing I'm gonna show is how to transfer a charcoal drawing. Okay, so now here I have a charcoal drawing. I'm just going to transfer this drawing over to my gel plate. Yep, I'm just going to pop it down on top. Just trying to get it adhered, so I'm going to rub it lightly all over. Just want to get that. And again, you don't have to have the entire thing on here. If you're concerned at all, you can do a light pencil mark and really try to stay within the edges. I don't tend to worry about it. I look at these things as experimental and play, and I don't really worry too much about having them, you know, really centered properly or anything like that, because this to me is all play and experimentation and having a good time and just trying to figure out, you know, getting some ideas for new paintings and figuring out new concepts. And I really have a good time with this gel plate work. I get so many new ideas and inspirations from just the immediacy of them and the serendipity of what could possibly happen. You just never know. what's going on when you're using these. There's so much left to chance with mono printing, and that's one of the things I really love about it. Now, I think this is just right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just put this right on here. Put it right down here. Okay. And like I said, you can use a Baron or your hand or a clean roller or brayer, but you know, your hand is just as good. It's fine. If all you have is your hand to do it, that's okay too. Some artists like to use two brayers, so they keep one clean and they roll on top, and then the other one they roll the paint out with. I've tried that, and both of them end up with paint, and then I'm kind of doomed. Okay, this one is really nice. Yeah, and I think that's really cute. Now, I like it so much better with the color. And getting the exact correct amount of paint takes a little bit of practice. And, you know, you'll figure that out. And I kind of like the way I cropped it. And you can kind of crop it to your liking with the gel plate as you're looking at your drawing, you know. Okay, and so that's the process of, you know, creating these on the gel plate. I mean, you just do a drawing and you transfer it over to the plate, just a couple drops of liquid acrylic, roll it out, and print. And so you can just, you know, this is really a fun afternoon activity, and you could just get so much done and come up with so many new ideas. I just really love it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, please consider giving me a like and subscribing to my channel, because it really does help my channel grow. Thanks for coming.